welcome everybody to the Breachers VRML Season 3, Week 2. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined with a new caster to the Breachers VRML, Flair. Not new to Community Cast, I suppose, or new to this Brug team, but new to the VRML. Happy to have you on the desk with me today, Flair. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today, Nightfire. Very excited to see this matchup between Shinigamis, as I did. You said community cast them last week, and yeah, very fun match, very fun team to watch indeed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Gibular Bob squad performs. I think there's a lot of fans out there interested to see how Bob is going to play today. Obviously, a fellow caster, so. Well, you know, without beating around the bush, kind of rooting for Bob. You know, I'm always rooting for the casters behind the desk here, especially if they get to play down on the field. So it's always cool to see. And again, happy to see Gibular Bob on the Brug squad alongside Maple, Bravo, Big Red, and Miyagi. And over on the Shinigami squad, we have Ash VR12, Cookie Man, Ripper Doc, Sleepy Fox, and Sleepy Bats. This is kind of a test for Brug, I think, right now, Flair, considering Shinigami are a team that's been around since Season 0.
Yeah, definitely, as Shinigamis does clearly have a lot of chemistry, having been around that long. But as we can see, there are a couple players who are from higher-up teams on Brug. It is a very new team, but I'm very curious to see how that would translate into how they will play together today.
Yeah, I mean, you have players like Heine on that roster that aren't playing this afternoon, who obviously, you know, like we're saying, do come from some experience within the VRML. And you know, again, in comparison, Shinigamis have been around since Season 0, but, you know, equally so, they also have quite a few folks that are new to their roster as well. And it does look like we are ready to head into our first map of the afternoon. I've got the 2 bans, which is a new feature for Season 3. There are 2 bans, so each team gets to ban a map, which does leave us with a limited pool to choose from, but there's so many options now, Flair, with Dam being incorporated, that new ship update. It really is kind of like a fresh take on a lot of these spaces, and so with this choice, we are going to be heading in to Arctic for map number 1, but I am seeing some technical issues already, so we may have to go through a restart here shortly. But if not, we are going to be getting into our first round here shortly on Arctic. And what are your thoughts here? I mean, it's hard to really say how Brug is going to perform, right? Because they are at essentially a 50-50 win rate after their first game of the season.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to see here, especially since Arctic has had its new revamp recently. And very curious to see what kind of strategies they will be pulling out today, as it is a very, very new map. Not very familiar with it, most players, but who knows? Maybe they've studied it, maybe they've come up with some plays together, and we shall see how they play today.
We shall. On the defense, we do have the Brug squad. On the offense, we have Shinigamis opening things up with our pistol round. And Ash VR12, the captain of the squad, the one that's been on Shinigamis the longest, going to be leading their initial push as they crack some doors on the outside of Arctic onto this 3rd floor. A little bit of drone work from Ripper Duck coming in as well, and the entirety of the squad beginning their entry into what seems to be that A side. Looks like we are having some tech difficulties over on the Codecaster side. We'll figure those out shortly as we do go into that second kill by Ash VR12, and push out on the corner here by a Ripper Doc. Brug getting chipped apart, quite frankly. The trio does not catch that refrag there. Oh, there is a quick refrag there from Bravo to Botto over the top, though. We are into a bit of a 2v2. Brabatabato tries to hold up over the top through that hole in the wall. Maple goes down to the Cookie Man, and now it's a favorable push here for Shinigamis. EMP in the hands of Cookie Man, but Brab has full health. Is on a site where the push seemingly is coming in from. Should be able to catch this peak, and there's the headshot. There's EMP down on the ground, and a 1v1 in front of us. Ripper Doc knows the players here on the corner. Takes shots. We have a battle of two different takes on the pistol round. A Cyclone versus a Spectral. As Brab's going to post the short corner, and there's where the Cyclone shines. 2 HP left for Ripper. They catch the kill in the close quarters with that extra bit of fire rate. And a EMP planted, no less. Definitely a solid opener for Shinigamis as they kick off things 1-0 here. Brug keeping it close, but close not quite enough in really any game other than horseshoes. So a tough opener there for the Brug squad, and now Shinigamis get to go into round 2 with a little bit of an advantage on the economy side. That Omen getting picked up by Sleepy in comparison to what we sometimes see in the Vesson department, a little bit heavier of a commitment, but I don't know. With some Omen updates that happened just before VRML Con, might become a little bit more prevalent in Season 3. May see players sort of opting into it in these short buy rounds, these partial buy rounds here like we have in round 2. As we do crack in to that second round, what do you think of the opener there from Shinigamis? You know, I think the votes are heavily into Brug's favor today if you're to look at the connoisseurs over there, Flair.
Very strong opening from the side of Shinigamis.
Yeah, we will. Some seems like we can't sort out those issues quite yet, so.
We're deep now.
We'll maybe say goodbye to Flair. Try and sort those issues out at a later date as we do get ready to dive into round 2. We do appreciate them putting their best foot forward, but some testing needing to be done there before we get into the mix. B-sites on the menu as Wall cracks open. Bob here to hold things down in the smoke, in the chaos. Shots coming through it, not connecting. There's Sleepy Fox on the side. Sleepy Bat inside plants, and Bob tries to push into the smoke. They go down. Sleepy has a slice of HP. Brabatabato still hasn't caught them out, and eventually that smoke's going to dissipate, and Sleepy goes down with a quick flick. Over the top, Big Red trying to hold things down. Brab with a nice swing out, catches one. There's still a 1v2. EMP down, and Miyagi scoops up the kill they need to defuse this EMP, take us to a 1-1. And maybe the trend of a tie game going to be something Brug reinforces? No, I was going to say I don't know. There's a word there, though. Anyway, a good opening defensive round there for Brug. And now we go to our full buy round. And a shout out to everyone in chat hanging out, as I did just check out a couple of folks tuning in. I see Delta, I see TTV Josiah, I see a Ducky in VR, Deftones, Jai Guy, Sarah Lee, Shenanigan Flair coming into chat there as well. We thank you all for tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action today. Again, our first full buy round coming up here. Bit of a test for the Shinigamis. They won a pistol round, but pistol rounds, you know, you can take 2 of them in a series and still lose 2-7. So that's all they're going to get. Not going to be enough, but obviously it's early. And worth noting, Brug took that last round when they were at a disadvantage on the economy. So how do they do the round when they are, well, equal? With rifles in hand, we'll find out. Our first test on Arctic Map 1 if you are just tuning in. Brab catches a trip mine kill. We saw that plant in the pre-round, right against this wall here, and it does catch one out. Bounce nade off the corner, goes swing back, doesn't quite catch Sleepy, but the trio could be vulnerable if they don't push out fast enough. Big Red's on a flank. They're going to catch the back of Sleepy, not before Cookie Man goes down. Nade following back Big Red, and Big Red swinging outside, getting very aggressive onto Ripper Doc, who's now alone in a 1v3, and Brug absolutely dominating their defense, shutting down the advancement from the offense, capturing the EMP essentially, and now making it difficult for Ripper Doc to really get a footing, get up to that EMP, or get control of this round. The best solution likely is to eco this rifle through to round 4. Eco is on the menu here. As Ripper Doc does some, maybe an autograph in the air, who knows. But the trio is going to stay tucked, stay diligent, and everyone will carry through with the next round with Vezins in hand. EMP in a very bad spot, so again, not going to be retrievable, especially in a 1v3 with 1 second left. 2-1 lead, and like I said, if pistol round's all you get, it's not going to be enough. Brug now in a very solid position. A carry through of 1 rifle, not going to be terribly positive for the Shinigami squad, and they should be able to get 2 more. Maybe 3 if they spend their money right, so they could have a relatively fully equipped squad pushing into round 4, but do you want to overcommit, overinvest, risk being at a worse spot on the economy come round 5? It's the question that these 3 are asking right now, trying to debate amongst their squad. Who's taking what? Can you give me these? I have this much. Okay, I'll buy that, swap this. A pretty long buy phase. That's why you need about a minute so you can sort all the stuff out. And I see in chat, let me come co-cast with you. If you want to be on the casting team, we are always taking applications. Pretty easy to get on. Just got to go through some minimum requirements and have minimum specs. And we're always looking for volunteers to jump onto the squad. But you do have to be an official VRML caster to do an official VRML cast. So apply now. Windows being cracked, Sleepy inside. And off of these early entries, the initial aggression from Bug does back off just the touch between Bob and Maple. Bob takes down a drone, and everyone's going to be getting settled in on the outside of sight here. Did Arctic get a rework too? Maybe I just haven't played enough of this map. I think that's really what it comes down to. We just haven't watched enough of this map. No, it didn't. It's the same. It's also been a while. I mean, honestly, I don't think I cast this last week, so yeah, a good multiple months. But Big Red catches one on the flank. The Cookie Man trying to get some foam down, gets caught, so that wall will not get broken. Big Red is going to drop back, though, up the stairs. And so for now, we have 5 stacked. Halloween masks in effect. Always love to see the festivities inside of Breachers. Ooh, audio transmitter giving info. Ash's position given away and prompting a bit of an aggressive smoke wall there, trying to deny them the opportunity of foaming that wall there, I think. And you can see in Brug a very good understanding across the board of this map as they do tuck into different positions, trying to anticipate different rotations. Cammy incredibly split, Shinigami rather, incredibly split. And Bob is going to crack the shelf, catches the first one. The Doc might try their hands at Bob's angle next. But they'll take it at a bit of a longer angle, and they will catch Bob. Time ticks down, though. And a very risky play there to go for that swing out when there was only so many seconds left. A commanding 3-1 lead, but we're taking our time getting there. Or at least Shinigamis are. I think that's the third round we've come down to the last second of the round. And if you compare this to the series we had just last week, or earlier this week, actually, I think on Thursday, I think we were done with both maps in 45 minutes. One of the fastest series I've cast, simply because we were done with rounds almost consistently before the first minute. So we're at a very different pace here. The Shinigami is very much trying to go in methodically, is what I like to call it. Some people like to say slow, but I think slow is not the right word, because while they're not pushing in with extra time on the clock, they are doing a lot in that time, doing a lot of clearing, checking angles, trying to gather information before they do work into the objective. And then, as if to be listening to me, the team cracks the top floor and then sits on the top floor for about 30 seconds. Just trying to listen and draw out the timing. Drone and the drop down. The squad comes down and prompts some utility. Maple finds one from that inner room. A very good slice of an angle that they have there. Bravato also very far extended here. Could be a potential threat if they choose. Bob also holding the angle. There is no reprieve for this Shinigami squad on offense. They cannot get out of this room that they've dropped into now, and it's almost as if Brug smells this as they continue to collapse around the objective entry point. But a little overextension there from Big Red does cost them their life. I do think as long as they stay tucked in, they are going to make it very hard for the Shinigami's offense to work out. And I think that's probably why, at the end of the day, we have come down to so many long timers. Because Shinigami are just having a hard time breaking through this defense of Brug. And Brug aren't getting over-aggressive in finishing off the final few players that are left on a team. And after everybody drops down, the consensus is quickly get back outside. I think they were waiting for the audio of the footsteps to go back to objective. Maybe even on the time with only 25 seconds left. And there's a nice shot from Bravato on the side. A nade coming in. Sleepy back going to plant the EMP. Another frag coming through as the EMP does get planted. The push coming back over to the EMP does leave Ripper Duck alone in a 1v3. But EMP is down, so they have the luxury of trying to counter the defuse, but it is being defused right now as Gibular Bob prevents Ripper Duck from pushing forward, and in that time, Miyagi sticks the EMP interrupt. Another point for Brug, and their half nearly perfect as we get into that final round of the half before we do swap sides, and Brug looking to go 5-1 in the opening minute here. I see some folks saying Arctic definitely has been reworked. Hey, You're absolutely right. I haven't played in a long time. I get my game knowledge through the casting client, okay? From flying around. I guarantee you more than anybody has flown around in the spectator client. I can 100% factually state that I have the most time in the spectator client out of anybody in the Breachers community, and that's how I play the game. So, you know, I'm learning. And seemingly, so is Shinigamis, having a hard time cracking through some of these reworked sites. New ways to move, new ways to defend. And in comparison, Brug seemingly very practiced. I want to see what their offense looks like, and if it is as coordinated as their defense has been so far. But we still got one more round of defense before we do make our way through. And it looks like we're setting up for a full stack from Shinigamis. Doing a great static transmitter that slows down the entire team, and Maple picks up a double. Immolation nade that stalls them, smoke that blinds them, and there's no chance of this squad effectively making their way through this entry point at the current moment. Big Red also getting aggressive with nade tosses. Another smoke coming in, and a lot of utility utilized here. Sleepy pushes out, Cookie Man with a refrag. Puts us into a 2v3, still in the advantage of this Brug defense as more nades come crashing in. And the persistence of Shinigamis is admirable. Maple blind firing over the top corner, swings to the side. More blind firing there, and they'll catch the kill. Gibular Bob over the short side, and it's another round. 5-1 into the hands of Brug. I see in chat they need to use that cloak more. We'll see if that's something that Brug prioritize, as it is their offensive session now. We swap sides, and a pistol round opens things up. A big round for Shinigamis. If they can get control here of this half with a pistol round, it's going to set them up real nice to start to bounce back from what is a very commanding lead from Brug right now. And the coordinated entry onto the top floor. Objective a floor below, so they'll find little resistance here. And they are simply scanning for any roaming defenders up above. They'll find a relatively empty top floor and quickly work their way down right on top of sight, right into Ash VR's line of sight, where Ash connects with one. Sleepy holding back over the top as nades and utility come crashing in, and Ash getting ready to peek the short corner again. A dangerous threat that they're not ready for. Ash 2, almost 3, nearly 4 on the round, but it's up to Miyagi in a 1v2 now. Very doable. That's what they have to execute on, and they end up hitting quite a few rounds onto the pipe in front of them instead. And what is a solid and vital round locked in from Shinigamis. Pistol round set up, and now they have an advantage that they can press, where they can invest into this round heavily because they need to. It's do or die at this stage. Win 3-5 here, then we go to a full buy round. That's when it's Brug's chance to really sort of bounce back. Granted, Brug did bounce back nicely from a economic disadvantage last round, or last half when they were down like this. So the last thing you want the Shinigamis is to allow Brug in. Allow a 6-2 at this stage. 5-3 is beautiful. You're in a good condition, and frankly, setting yourself up for what could be a tied map 1 if they can string together enough defensive rounds. Sleepy inching their way forward into what could be a early fight on the top floor. I definitely heard something on that outside there, and or now taking shots through the wall, just a few. But it is health chipped off of the Omen holder, no less. And that's why the syringe is tossed to them. Drops back. Pushed up. Bob finds one. Finds their first. Oh, I didn't find the first one. They actually traded there. Bob does find one, though. I knew it was coming. I believed in Bob. But the rest of the Brug not looking good. Low on HP into a 4v2, so they have the player advantage. Site control is here. Bob thinking about planting at a certain spot, then Cookie picks up a double. Takes us into a 1v2 with very little HP across the offensive board, and Sleepy full and healthy. Pistol in hand, 2 and 7 KD on the series so far. Definitely wants to bump this up to 4 and 7 off of a win here. Oh, and a great prediction of Gibular Bob mounting out the window. Time continues to tick down, though. And that nade could do it. Just a little bit of HP damage is all they need on the Brab. Pushing forward for the Omen so that they can one-hand that and stick the EMP defuse. That's the goal. Brab staying tucked in, allowing the EMP stick to come through. And can they get there in time? They do. Perfectly timed, dare I say, as Brab disrupts and decides which skin they want. They disrupt the interrupt. Ooh, wow, how many different versions of a word like that can I use? I see some folks in chat. Nightfire more like day smoke. I think I've also heard day water. There's also another one, because obviously the opposite of fire is not really smoke. Smoke is technically directly affiliated with fire, so it's like, you know. It's all right. I also see in chat, is there an age limit? I don't think, other than being over 13, that's the limit we have to participate in the VRML, and typically we're not restrictive on volunteer age. So if you do want to be on the team, where you know, we have a form that your parents fill out, and you fill out, and then you're part of the squad. So we have a process for if people are under age of 18 and want to be volunteers within the VRML community. We have, actually, if you look at VRML Con 2023, that was, and 2024, for the majority, those were managed and hosted by a high schooler, I believe, individual in their senior year. As Big Red swings wide, they catch Ripper Doc out. Maple finds the refrag and takes us to a 3-3. A very quick couple of kills scrolling through here onto the A site. As Sleepy Fox debates pushing in, and Sleepy Bat catches the kill. Fox goes down on the flank. Another getting picked up there as Maple tries to work their way in, and Sleepy picks up a third. Some big kills coming in from the Shinigami squad there. And again, fighting for their life, because every round from here is a, well, do or die moment. Brug just need one, and they've got themselves the map. Shinigamis need to string together 4 rounds in a row. Actually, 3 is the best they can do. The best they can do is tie this first map. Quick look at the KDs on the afternoon so far, and you can see a pretty dang even split with Bertabato at a 14 and 5. Gibular Bob a 3 and 7, but 6 assists, contributing nicely to the squad, as you would expect any VRML caster to do. Round number 10. Just a few left on our first map here in Arctic, and it certainly has been an exciting one. Brug delivering to the expectations of the connoisseur vote, which were in favor of Brug by a substantial amount. And a pretty aggressive defensive push here is, oh, that's a nice nade toss out the door there. Does catch almost half health damage onto 2 of the Brug offense. Sleepy also here at this front point, hearing these pushes to this front door. They're going to be a threat. They have to root out Sleepy here, and Sleepy catches one. Can they get any more on their peak? They're on the hunt for it, but off the reload, Sleepy goes down. Sleepy Bat is there to find the quick refrag, though. Vezin in the hand. Gibby Bob not able to find much, and in what is a eco round for Brug, they have managed to at least catch one. Still, though, you'll notice that the Omen user, one of 2 Omen users on Shinigamis, was one of the players pushing forward, not a Vezin user, meaning that they weren't willing to risk their rifle investment on the front lines, but were willing to risk the SMG investment. Don't want that rifle to go into the hands of the Brug squad when they are again on that eco round. Closer and closer to 6-4, though, as the time ticks down and Shinigamis start to get some footing underneath them on Arctic here. And look at the patience of Ripperdoc as they've been staying tucked in. Just a wall away. And everyone on Brug very low HP. Not really willing to break any walls just yet, and instead kind of just poking and prodding, looking for any off-meta angles, looking for any picks, and ultimately running into a lot of door blockers that are shutting them down. The Augie does catch one. Maple's going to hit this door blocker and alert the squad as the immolation nade comes in. A trade, 1-for-1, puts us into a 2v2, which is actually really good for Brug at this stage. But time ticks down. Maple going to commit or not, and tries to commit, but goes down in the flames. I think that might be the first immolation nade kill I've ever cast. I think 3 seasons. And I don't think I've ever seen an immolation nade. I don't know. Immolation nade kill, rather. Obviously, I've seen immolation nade. Still, though, a 2-point lead for Brug, and it seems to get a little tighter and tighter. Full buy here now, and if Brug lose this one, it's going to be another full buy next round based off of their consecutive loss bonus, I think. Not really a place you want to be in when you're the team that's leading and you're a point away from taking the map, but a full buy round here, and you're going to get your best 2 attempts at taking this map in these next 2 rounds. Look at those Halloween skins. Oh my gosh, terrifying eyes inside them. Oh my, Big Red comes barreling in through. I think one-handed, not really ready to catch a player in the corner, but does nonetheless. And that's definitely one way to open things up. A nice early pick. You can see that aggression on the SMG side doesn't always work. Ripperdoc getting into a bit of a head peek battle here. Does send out, catches Miyagi. And what a win for Ripperdoc in this hallway to be battling Big Red on that lean peek. Peek out deep and catch Miyagi. It is not what Brug were looking for. Trying to get control of this hallway. B site cracked open. Sleepy Bat is here. And Bob, with a big kill on the Ash, really opens up B. Sleepy has to execute, though. Big Red tucks in, and Bob finds another over the top. Sleepy Bat, a huge double. There's a kill from Maple, and B side has been completely cracked. Brug just need one more kill, and they've got themselves a map in their pocket. But if they overextend, if they don't find the Cookie Man here, it's going to continue on to this map, and it really could be a 6-6 map one. So this is huge for this Brug squad. They need to lock this in. They got EMP down. They can tuck in to defend and play this pretty passively. No need to extend out like we are seeing there from the likes of Rabbitabato. At the same time, though, you do want to prevent the EMP defuse, and Maple has tucked into this corner. Cookie Man does see them, and they catch one. They swing for the double! Cookie catches two. Where's the EMP? They can't find it. Time ticks down. Do they have enough time to defuse it? I think they do. Wow, what a clutch from the Cookie Man, and it's the last thing Brug wanted to have happen. Both of them stacking so close to the EMP and ultimately allowing for a 1-2 swing there through that hole in the wall. And I wish I cut the replay, but was so immersed into that play and in the EMP getting diffused in time because they didn't know where it was. The ping's frantically coming from the team. But what a clutch from the Cookie Man, who off of their spoils is able to supply the team with the utility and guns they need. And now Brug in a spot they did not want to be in. 6-5, map 1. 1 point away from taking us to 3 maps guaranteed this series, and my first best of 3 in Season 3. I've only cast 2 games, and I've had 2 2-map series, so not like there's been a lot of testing grounds there for that, but more kills for Brug by a long shot across the board here, but it's Shinigami on defense in the final round of the half, down a point, looking to tie this up. Can be these moments where it's the hardest to execute on, and Ripper Doc should surely break through that bottom hatch, but grab and team have not broken it. Ripper does break through, and shots do come in, but not before they catch Maple. Definitely throwing off this squad, who is now worried about a flank from behind, as Ripper sets up for Grab to push through, and the trio lingers. The longer they sit here, the more time for a flank, the more they have to worry about that flank. And that's why this defense is throwing immolation nades, smoke grenades. They're trying to stall out wall plants and to push through this gap, and there it is. There's one over the top. A great reinforcement from Miyagi. The push in all the way, though, and it ends up trading down 1 for 1. We're into a 2v3 as Miyagi on the short corner is going to get the EMP plant. Swings up and catches Sleepy Bat on the peak. Can they get the EMP plant in time to then tuck in and defend? They can. The push is coming in fast and furious, though, and Sleepy's here for the kill. It is a map 3 guaranteed. We're 6-6, and I just wish we had a freaking tiebreaker in private lobbies. It's so annoying. I hate having ties. Ties are the least favorite. I absolutely despise seeing ties in league matches, but we've got one. 6-6, a great comeback from Shinigami. Obviously, they're fun to watch. I just wish we could play a tiebreaker. Please, God, give us the chance to do tiebreakers. Oh, I requested it. It's definitely in the ears, and I think this season we will see tiebreakers incorporated, and we'll be done with ties forever. We will never have a tie again in the VRML because it is the worst. But it's the case here, so hats off to them. We go to the post game, and we wait for map 2 to be chosen as I gripe about ties. They're just the worst. Completely ruins momentum of a game for me, but it's all right. Gives us 3 maps, which is good. And we get to watch more of our favorite caster, Gibula Bob, battling it out. Shout out to everyone that is tuning in. I do appreciate you all for stopping by. We will get ready for map 2, and so I will cut to break because we have 3 maps guaranteed today because ties are still a thing. Don't go anywhere. And we are back for map number 2, which with Arctic being touched up ship, the other map that has severely been touched up for Season 3, and that's where we're headed. If you are just tuning in, you've missed an excellent map 1. An amazing series where Shinigami come back from the brink of death. And I suppose as Death Reapers, it makes sense. They reaped their own death and tied map 1. And down 5-1 at the start of their half. It's just a very good defensive comeback. Back to defense, Brug go, though. And a nice peek there for Bob to kick things off. Oh, and Heine, the Taurus Whisperer, scoops up one. Pushing out is Gibular Bob looking for picks and getting very aggressive. And Shinigami into a 2-4. Brug looking to really sort of get the momentum going into their favor early off of what is so far a pretty dominant defensive half. And I say that with only there being 30 seconds played in the half so far. So they've dominated the first 30 seconds, sure. Can that persist? We saw that issue with Shinigami on their defensive half. And now as Sleepy Bats alone into a 1v4, they are going to have a tough time with at least the opening round. At this stage, I'm not quite sure what the advantage is in doing this. Meaning that if you're the last player alive on the pistol round into a 1v4, it's like an extreme move to make that you typically only see like very late stage in the season when every little inch matters. You don't typically see a pistol round eco just because you're denying... I don't know how much it is, 300 in cash for a kill if it goes down. You're not carrying anything through with this Spectral coming into the next round. I guess you are, technically, because you lost, so you would go into pistols again. I don't know why this Brug team is doing stuff like that, where it's literally the opposite. They just gave away money into a losing team's hands. You know, still a map win, or a round win into Shinigami, into, Brug's hands, but they did lose a player that was unnecessary to lose, in my opinion. Vezin getting picked up by Bob. See what he can do with that. Shinigami sticking to the core. Not even buying into any pistols, and maybe only one Cyclone there. The Spectral carried through from the round before. Sleepy Bat's gonna find that first defender, Big Red, up top. Drone goes down. Cookie Man tries to make their way in as well. To little success. Bob finds their first kill with the Vezin. Oh, and that's new. I have to... Ooh, nice kill from Big Red. Shinigamis on their eco round, not really getting through here. 5 alive on Brug for a bit more of a commanding defensive hold and performing a bit more to the expectations of the connoisseur votes. Again, it was like 40-3 in favor of Brug, as Sleepy Fox continues to be an absolute terror out here. I don't... It's just impatience. It's impatience by the Brug squad as they go out here looking for kills, trying to catch Sleepy, who is so obviously tucking in and forcing this. Sleepy might commit for the push in. An interesting drop-down tactic that does put them right into the face of Gibular Bob, Bravadabato, and Maple. All tucked in around the EMP, which they had down in the doorway. And now I need to fix the scores at the top because it's a 2-0 lead in map 1. Map 2. Gosh, wow. Numbers are hard. If you are just tuning in, we are just into the series. Map 1 might as well never have happened, and you're in for at least 2 this afternoon. Well, at most 2 this afternoon. Starting with ship here and leaving us with, I think, Dam and Factory as options for the final map. So we might see Dam for the first time this season for map 3. I don't know. I don't know where we're headed there. But if Brug keeps this up, we'll find out sooner than later. Full buy around here for Shinigamis, however, should be their best foot forward and their best opportunity to get back into this. Reworked ship, going the way of Brug so far. Hey, nay. Almost caught Sleepy rotating up here. Oh, my. And somehow one over the top. Oh, that was Ane on the back end. I'm like, oh, that was a crazy late trade, but no. Makes more sense there for it to be a 1 for 2 in favor of Shinigamis. Wall side open at A. Smoke coming in. On top of immolation to camouflage it and hopefully do a little more damage. Man trying to look over the top. Sleepy back catches Maple on the side. This Shinigami's team setting up on the entry point as Bravadabato tries to fend off the break in. Shinigami's does crack the shell though, and everybody perfectly timed. Sleepy Bat survives through the fire, and EMP plant should go down as well. Second point on the board for this offense, and another tied game, 2-2. Excuse me, 2-1. That was their round win. Sorry. 2-1. Map 2. Gosh, dude, the numbers are a doozy. I see some quests. Some quests, jeez. Some chat, some questions. Oh, that's great. That's the right word in my mind. Questions about Beyblade in chat, but I will raise you with a Naruto reference instead, because I'm rewatching Naruto right now. It's classic slapper. A good quality bit of animation, especially once you get into the old Shippuden, the time skip. Let's forget about it. Into round 4. You do the math. We go. It's been a while since we've been to this wall. Feels like seasons. It has been. Not as prominent of an entry point anymore as it used to be, but maybe it'll be where the Shinigami team comes from. Brug down a player off a disconnect. That stings. Puts them into an early 3-5. Not where they need to be when they're trying to stack defensive rounds. Goes down, wall gets open. Bob worrying about multiple angles here as the team comes crashing into objective side. Finds one headshot, not going to be ready. Oh, catches Cookie Man. Still has a slice of HP left in a 1v3 that they're going to have to clutch up. Not on the short corner. Can't find that kill. The pistol in hand's not going to do it, and it's another point for the Shinigamis. Now we're tied 2-2 in map 2. Bob doing a little stretching. As they try and lock it in for the foreseeable future. A little drone work on the upper floor. A little trading through the wall. Not a feeling really connecting except for a touch of damage on Sleepy, which does warrant a quick health syringe to put them back to full. Ooh, but that cannot be healed. Sleepy and Ripper both going down. Cammy getting picked apart through the wall here, trying to push into the subjective side, and with 3 early scoop ups there, it's going to make this Brug team a little more confident, and in some cases, overconfident. Ooh, with a peek out there, Sleepy. Touch of damage. Brad goes for the re-peek and catches the nade toss out, but the nade not going to be primed long enough to catch Brad, so they drop back, and we maintain the 4-2. Big Red swings out, and that puts Cookie alone. Does get 1. That's an in hand. Can't find 2. Was looking for it, though, and Brug back in control. A bit of a rocky start for them on Ship on defense, no less, but I don't know how much Ship tends to the defensive side these days with the remake, so might not be as devastating as it would be in Season 2, where if you were to be down 3-2 on your defensive half on Ship last season, It nearly spelled a death sentence for you because, again, it was very hard to get offensive rounds. Maybe that's a little easier. I don't know, chat. What's the thoughts? What's the preference for ship with the remake? Shinigami's not even set up into positions yet, though. We'll have to see. I see the question in chat. Hey, Nay is on Brug. Yes, they are. That was one of the additions to that Brug roster we were talking about this season. Bob heard some audio and ran away from it. Maybe afraid of the new masks for the Halloween holidays. Hey, Nay, not afraid of challenging at that front door window, though, and nobody takes any damage, everyone survives. Hey, Nay, dancing. Unafraid. I think Brad might be holding 2 rifles. No, he's got a Viper. Thought he had a Marui and a Vezin. Which most certainly would have been overkill. Big red on their roam gets punished. As the wall opens. What's the play for Shinigami? It seems like a misdirect here to be in attention mostly over to A. Cookie Man is out here. Hey, Nay, potentially going to be a threat soon, but push is coming from a bit of a different angle. Or at least seems to be prepping for that B-side push as Brab does go down to the Cookie Man. Ooh, Hey, Nay getting picked up trying to swing to this side, and after those 2 kills, into a 2 for 5 Shinigami. We're going to take this 3-3. That nade well tossed by Bob. Put it in the books. As the swing out from Maple is here. They'll find another. Turns it even closer. 1v3 now as Bob catches the first. Can they find 2 more? Ashviar and Ripper Doc with EMP in hand are able to put it down onto that B site. So Bob going to have to push the retake. That may be more difficult than simply swinging while it was being planted. You can see in comparison to the Brug setup, they've pushed very far off. This EMP so far off that Ripper Doc tucked into the corner catches Bob swinging in, and that's the half. Tied 3-3. It seems like this Brug squad cannot catch a break in their series. They have a 50% win rate for every map they've played so far this season, as they did go 18-18 in their first series. At this stage, they are sprinting towards that trajectory again for their second series of the afternoon, and if we do get a tie here, at least what it means is that that final map does decide a winner or loser, or lead to another tie, in which case then we do have the full tie all the way down, but we're not there yet. I don't know what that was. A little VR dance going on. A little dance training. Gotta swap sides here. As it is, Brug on the push now, and Shinigami's holding things down with a early kill going to Brab and an early 5-4 lead to Brug. Hey, Nay, the Taurus user. Taurus man, as he's labeled in chat. Definitely proving why they carry that name. Also, I believe the author of the Taurus Bible. And as they push in, they continue to show why they are that Taurus Bible author. 2 big kills there to the head. That catch out that lead for Brug in the kills department, and another lead in map 2 for Brug as they go up 4-3. And a gander at the overall KDs after that round. And we love to see it. Shout outs to it. Gibular Bob from the casting team. Absolutely dominating map 2. Was a team player map 1 with a lot of assists. Now the star shooter 9 and 5 in map 2. I see old Gravy in chat. Did anybody get any quick 3Ks or cool clips? I think there was a couple. Some good doubles, at least. I don't know that we've had too many triple kills, honestly, though, in this series so far. It's been, as you'd imagine, very back and forth. And very even in terms of trades, exchanges, things like that. It's a great matchup, and I'm impressed to see Week 2 pairing these two teams together. The algo for VRML absolutely shining here in this matchup. This time, Gibular Bob doing a bit of drone work. Trying to show us how it's drone. Ready for Cookie Man. It seems like Brad does spot them out. The entire team pinching around on B, and a nice refrag there from Brad, catching the stairwell shots over the top. EMP plants, and the 2 between Sleepy and Sleepy have to catch this round win. And now it's just up to Sleepy. As Sleepy goes down. And Bat, oh, gonna get surprised. A little peekaboo from Brabadabato. And quick 2 offensive rounds into Brug's hands. Maybe their offensive half going to be a little bit more commanding here than the defensive one, as they are now 2 away from taking in a map 2 victory and leading the series. Full buys across the board? No. Shinigami not able to commit heavily into this round, which is interesting. What was their investment in the round before? Maybe they went heavy. Off a loss, though? It's a risky choice that you can see now is paying. They're paying for with a lack of a kitted out team in comparison to a fully kitted out Brug offense here. Nice little kill from Cookie Man, though. Does get things rolling for that Shinigami's defense. In some ways, I feel like we've seen Brug play almost better when they have to scrap. But with all the utility in their arsenal, they're doing also just fine. Brab catching some big kills, throwing up their hands in celebration before the round even ends. Very happy with that execution there, and a 3-6. Map 2 getting closer and closer to that series, to that map point, which we've been at before. Brug have sat here for multiple rounds in Arctic and did not get the final point they needed. Now, as they set up 6-3, will they be able to squirrel out a map win? That's the question. I see Eternity Pillow in chat asking how I am. I am excellent. It's been a pretty good week overall. Gotten 2 Breachers casts in. Might do a Veiled cast. No, I got a Breachers cast tomorrow. So things are going. Things are going, and I'm happy to have you fine folks enjoying this weekend with me as well. A nice Saturday night fight here. We had a good Friday night matchup yesterday, and now another good Saturday night one to deliver you some excitement. And can it be the final round of map 2? That's what Brug are trying to string together here. Oh, double drone. That does do some good work identifying Sleepy, but they can't execute off of it. Sleepy swings for the second drone and kills it. Does catch big damage from the immolation, but amazing plays here. Ash shuts down Brab rotating, and Brug essentially throw their kits into the dumpster as nobody gets in and everyone dies out. I don't know if they were trying to do that, but maybe trying to play rock, paper, scissors to decide which way they go. I'm not sure. Hene and Night. I imagine myself in being Bob right there. Hene and Bob. 2v5 ahead of them. Not easy to overcome here. First. One more to go. Hene is all they have. A 1v5. Not happening. Everybody dead. And a complete swap of momentum. Shinigamis absolutely could take these next 2 rounds. It's a real moment where if Brug can't get this final point, and at this stage, might be a problem for Brug because their first series went 6-6 all the way down for 3 maps to then have that happen again map 1. I wonder how many times they were in that lead position, round 6 already locked in those other 6-6 maps. We could go back and look at the community cast, which was done by Flare, to get a perspective on it, but it's maybe a question worth considering and thinking about here if we do get a map 2 6-6. If we get a map 3 6-6, then it is something that needs to be addressed by the Brug squad. But quite frankly, I don't know how you address it. It's one of the harder things to really do in this game is execute on that final round. I think the solution is simple. You simply have to play it like every other round. And I do feel like even when it comes to the full buys, this Brug squad plays a little bit different when they got off the utility. Red goes down. There's a nice refrag. Another kill on the stairs that puts us into a 4-3. Brug have the player advantage. Kill. Bob actually catching Ripper Doc out, and it leaves Cammy and Cookie alone. Now just Sleepy. It's a point as Brug, as they win a map. And I can stop worrying about if it is a larger problem for the Brug squad. Because, well, there it is. Map number 2 locked in with a win. Took them a bit, as the scoreline did go 4-7 in map 2. But it is a Brug victory, and they do have now the lead in the series. The best that Shinigamis can do from here is tie or win map 3, and then tie or lose the series. Those are their 2 options, essentially. They cannot win this series now, and so that can sometimes be the hardest thing to fight for when it comes to that 3rd map, is to have the momentum, have that energy to find a map win and essentially only get a tie. Obviously, you're avoiding a loss, which is the goal now, but TBD on if they can execute on that. Might have another substitution coming in on the Brug side, which means we'll cut to another brief break. And when we come back, map 3, final map of this series, will decide a winner or if we're going to get another tie for this Brug team. So don't go anywhere. More Breachers Season 3 action coming up. It does not look like I will be getting a damn map yet in Season 3. One day it will be played, but we go to Factory to wrap up the series and see if Brug can push through for their first series win of Season 3. In comparison, Shinigamis staring down the barrel of their first loss in Season 3, which they don't want. They're going to try to avoid that by taking this map and tying the overall series and map wins. But if Brug gets 6 rounds, then they have won the series. And the outcome from there is essentially moot, if you will, because, again, they will tie this map if they or win once they get to 6 points. And then at that point, they've won the series. So 6 rounds. That's what this Brug squad is going to try and string together on their defensive half here as we get into it. Round 1, map 3, deciding the fate of these squads now. Ooh, Bob almost. A great angle there, though, from both Cookie and Ripper Dog to catch Bob out. Lots of damage done, though, and just a few bullets away from settling a couple of scores as Sleepy Fox goes down, and Big Red catches 2 in that peak. Puts Sleepy Bat on the roof alone. And I think they're going to tuck in here, trying to avoid dropping in for that extra kill. I see Sarely in chat recommending I wear a hat. I think that's already kind of coined by Yellow Hat. Nice kill there from Sleepy. Again, Brug getting over-aggressive when they have the advantage. A trend that may have, I don't know, didn't cost them on ship. At the end of the day, they took that map. But they don't want to continue to send out players to their death. Oh, and Hane almost catches the head of Sleepy Bat. You can see that Taurus bullet zip over their ear. And, yep, another long round. We're into our third map, but it's taken us quite a bit to get here. We've had several rounds that have gone the full length of time. A trend for Shinigamis to maybe analyze. If we're going to talk about trends, we see Brug always kind of struggling to push that seventh round through. Similarly, Shinigamis consistently running into points where they only have one left alive with so many other, you know, for that eco. So how do you avoid that? Well, obviously you don't want everyone to die so quickly. So you know, it's kind of like maybe a shift of momentum, a shift of pacing. I'm not sure. But nice and spread here. In the initial entry, Shinigami may be trying to hit multiple points. And I was watching Sleepy Bat. I wonder if they were going to go in from the back, but they have ended up just rejoining with the team up on the roof. An eco round, of course, off of a loss there, and so advantage very much into the hands of the defense. Brabatabato is bringing a gun I've never seen in a league match. It is that semi-automatic shotgun. With the damage done on sight, Brab drops off of their extended aggressive rotation, tucks back in to reinforce, considering Hane and Big Red are down so much on HP. Brabatabato trying to shoot some shots with that semi-auto shotty. They go down in their efforts to connect, and advantage still into the Brug squad on the defense as they are up 4-3. But where is the play from this offense coming from? That's what information is severely lacking for this Brug defense. They just don't know where the push is being directed right now, and it's because Shinigamis do take their time on their entries. They are methodical. A good pick on the bottom from Sleepy. Maybe that's what they were waiting for before they make their entry in. Certainly seems to be the case. Oh, and Bob had a chance, but gets shut down. Big Red tries their heart out, and they go down as well, and Shinigamis actually doing a great job of pushing in here. It leaves Heinei alone with a Taurus in their hand. There's one headshot they need. They need two more. Sleepy Bat tries to swing out. EMP does go down, and Heinei has dropped back quite a bit. They catch another headshot on the Sleepy Bat and Heinei. One bullet away from clutching this up, and Ripper Doc dropping back. Going up to that roof. Excuse me, that top floor for a better angle onto EMP. And Heinei very aware of this, but limited on time. Can't commit to a full send. Has to get the EMP defused. Doesn't have time. Tries to bait out the swing. Won't die. And instead might go for the kill. Ripper Doc's actually running. And an overall pretty good play from Shinigamis. Bouncing back. And Heinei finding the final kill. I think that was maybe 3 or 4 for them. Absolutely dominating in the pistol rounds with the Taurus. But couldn't quite clutch it up for the Brug squad there. And they are now tied 1 apiece here in map 3, which again does work for Brug. They go 6-6. They take the overall series. I don't know if they're waving at you or me or doing something else, but hello. Hello to the Brug team. I don't know. You have to ask them. Utility into the hands of Shinigami now off of a map win, so drone work and rifles coming into this push, but in comparison a nearly equally kitted defense. Trip mines are down and pheasants are in hand. If you are new and you are ever catching a series, you are just jumping in randomly, you can always see the total scoreline at the top of the UI. Heinei catches a nice kill there. Oh, Sleepy finds the ankle of Gibular Bob and bites it. And one more drone. Let's see if they can assess anything on the defense. All they'll get is that there's some trip mines. EMP's down and pinged by Sleepy, and I gotta wonder if this Brug defense knows they have it down there. A nice refrag. Maple a second late, but keeps it 3-3. 3-2 rather, as an another disconnect there on the Brug. Gibular Bob actually dropping out, but they were down already. Really back once the round wraps, and Sleepy may actually wrap it in favor of Shinigamis. A 1v2 in front of them here as they get rid of some blockers. They will rotate around to it easier to plant a site, but they have so little time that they are not going to be able to get that EMP down. At this stage, the play has to be to hold on to that rifle and carry it through to the next round, and that is what they'll do. Another eco. And Brug up 2-1. Full setup here. Actually, partial by 2 omens coming in from Shinigamis. But they are still committing pretty heavily to round 4. Oftentimes you will see teams ecoing this 4th round. Sleepy going on a long rotation. Caught out by Brab in the blind fire. Oh my goodness, and Big Red's crashing in for 1, looking for 2, catches it, looking for 3. And now in a rare moment, we actually have some pressure coming in from the other side of this objective. Very rarely do you see a push from this side on this OBJ. I don't know why it's so uncommon, but it is. Oh, and almost a kill there. Big Red with a slice of HP able to tuck in. I do again wonder if they know they have that EMP down right there in that initial room. In comparison, that push is coming from the other side of the objective space, but it's not going to do a whole lot without any EMP in hand. And again, the time is ticking down, and time's been a factor for this Shinigami's team. "30 seconds, and still no one's picked up the EMP. Sleepy has to get it and has to plant it at B. And they have to do it so fast. Seconds now. Maple finds the first. 10 seconds left. Sleepy has the EMP. 5 seconds left. They don't have the time, even if they make their way through here. And so again, Shinigamis, their thorn in the side is the timer. They simply are waiting too long, in my opinion, on some of their pushes. Oh my. That's not what you want to be doing, because that does cost you quite a bit of cash. But I think they're okay on the full buy. Still, though, that's money out of their pockets that didn't need to go out of their pockets. And that's actually kind of an unfortunate mistake for Brug. But 3-1, nonetheless, is still solid off of that defensive hold. And like I was saying, Shinigamis are locked in. They're good. They're playing well against Brug. They've got good plays. They're coordinated. Their defense halves are good. When it does come time for that execution to go out, though, it just takes them a little bit too long, I think, and so they are getting impacted by time a lot. Big Red waving again to us fine folk at home, I think. Or to maybe anybody that's going to breach that, they're going to see Big Red waving to them when they breach. I'm not sure what the benefit of that is for Big Red, but maybe they just want to scare the team. They do have the spooky mask on. A good nade toss there. Almost catches Sleepy all the way out. Big damage done to Ripper. Bob catching those shots through the wall and with the player down. HP bars of Shinigamis need a infusion of HP before they do make their way forward anymore. Another kill. Another from Big Red. They continue to swing in from this side. Heyne comes flying out and they trade 1 for 1. Big Red cleans up and I think that's the ace for Big Red on the round. I'm pretty sure that's all 5 kills for them. And a 4-1 lead, map 3. 2 more points to go. And we simply will end the stream if Brug get those 2 points. Because again, if they get to 6, they have won the series. Which we are 2 points away from happening here. Brug need to lock in this last round of their defensive half and then go into the offense in the pistol round, win it, lock in the series win. And again, I say this because a tie or a win in map 3 for this Brug squad does mean a series win for them overall. So they have 2 win conditions, essentially. Ooh, and that's a good opener. That's something the Shinigamis desperately need, an early pick that sets them up for success. There's a nice second, and oh my, an unfortunate bounce that Sleepy wasn't anticipating. And a kill from the grave from Gibular Bob. They're a threat even when they're down. A lot of time wasted on that drone. We didn't have the window open to push through. And time wasted on a drone is rough because it does have a limited battery life, so as soon as you deploy it, it's out there. Brab finds and evens things back to a 3-3. Ash goes down through a smoke. As the site opens, time ticks down. Minute 20 left. Brab finds another. Ripper Duck, all that's left, and as they try to pick up a rifle to eco with, it's as if Brug were reading that move and pushed out to disrupt it. 5-1 into series point we go with a side swap and a pistol round to kick things off. Big Red, 11-4 on the half, absolutely dominating. Gibular Bob, 3, 5, and 3, pulling in those assists. And a true team player in this series this afternoon, carrying in map 2, dare I say. Heyne wielding the Taurus is the biggest threat in this round by far at this stage with how they've been executing on these pistol rounds. And I mean, come on. Finds one, Sleepy catches them stuck essentially on their zip line there, so a good shutdown of the pistol user and a good swing from Brab through the fire and the flames. They've got themselves a kill lead here. Again, 1 more point to go. This point gets them the series win, their first win of Season 3. Drop downs here. Taurus is here. Big Red is not. Brab, another trade. Back and forth we go. Brab absolutely putting the team on their back this round as it's all up to Ripper Duck on the top floor, and Brab knows that the comms have come through. The pings are there. EMP has to go down, and where is the EMP? It's on that top floor, so Ripper does not need to vault or get aggressive or push down to that bottom floor. They can tuck in and force Brab up these stairs to them, which is what's going to happen. Brab has to do a lot of clearing here before they can get that EMP, but if they can, they've got themselves the EMP and a chance to plant. Drops down, and now they rotate to B, where there isn't any open hatches for Ripperdoc to get down quickly to, and Brad should be able to tuck in for enough time for an EMP plant. You can see Ripper waiting for an A-site plant. That doesn't happen. Goes down at B, and what is the play for Ripperdoc here? Brad tucking in very far away. And this is actually really interesting. I think Brab's playing into the fact that this Shinigami's team has been slow on their moves. They are not pushed. They are not extended out here. They have gone all the way to the bottom floor. They're not even on site. I suppose with that hatch opened up, they are still able to defend that EMP defuse. But that will be the series win for Brug, a 6-1 map 3, and I suppose we could stick around to see the final moments if Brug can lock in one more offensive round. But if we do go and linger on these next few ones, then we will simply wrap the stream. But congratulations to Brug for now locking in a series win, their first of Season 3. They tied maps 1, 2, and 3 in their first game of Season 3, which is a heck of a way to join into the VRML, might I add. And then they start this series tying again, so that's 4 tied maps in a row that Brug finally overcame with a map 2 win, and have now locked in, at the very least, a series win. Map 3 is still up in the air if it can be tied as we get into the defensive half for Shinigami. But with a lead here and a full buy coming in, if Shinigami lose at all on this round, it is really going to be their economy down the drain. With that in mind, we do go into round number 8. Greg catches a kill, Ripper goes down, and I do think that the idea of the lost series has been relayed to the Shinigami's team. Or maybe, again, the unorthodox buys just aren't paying off. Either way, the shotgun kill is kind of brutal. Grab over the top, finds another. Sets Shinigami down to 2. Brug looking to get their second map win of Season 3. And Cookie Man might be shutting that down. Sleepy catches another kill, and it's up to Brab alone in a 1v2 defending the EMP. Has a Vezin, but has little HP, no health syringe available. Cookie's going to lead this charge. They'll go down. Sleepy's up next. And Brab catches the clutch kill they need to lock in the series win for Brug. And that is your Saturday night fight wrapped up. A solid fight nonetheless, as Shinigami's absolutely competed every inch of the way against this Brug squad. But ultimately, Brug persevere with 2 map wins in the back half of this series to wrap up this best of 3 and take their first series win of Season 3. So congratulations to Brug, and congratulations to our fellow caster, Gubular Bob, for taking his first Season 3 win as well. Shout out to everyone that tuned in today. We do appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We have a lot of content in the works, from stuff like Mastering the Meta to interviews to more highlight reels. So you're going to want to catch those when we drop them, and you can do that if you're subscribed. Also, obviously, more live streams. Another one tomorrow, I think 6:30 p.m. PST, or actually 5:30 p.m. PST, one of those times. But do tune in to that matchup tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it. But Until then, my name has been Nightfire. A quick shout out to Triangle Factories for supporting the VRML in Season 3. Keep your eyes out on the Exclaim merch store for some very sick Season 3 merch that we have in the works. But until next time, stay classy.